Good morning and welcome to the daily cyber briefing for Tuesday, the 3rd of September. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Uh, if you live or work or travel to London, worth being aware that since yesterday there has been a cyber attack that has impacted Transport for London. Transport for London being the overarching body that looks after tubes and buses within London. Well, in fact, most of the transport network. I think I'm not sure about roads as well, possibly. Not sure. There are reports that TfL users have been asked to work from home, and it is if you are able to take the pressure off the transport system, I think you are being encouraged to do that. There's not much in the way of details coming out at the moment. There is a statement from TfL's CTO is that the security of systems and customer data is very important, and they'll continue to assess the situation throughout and after the incident. They need to undertake the assessment of the incident, and at the moment there's no indication that customer data has been compromised. Given the nature of cyber attacks, expect that last statement to change as things unfold. So at the moment, nothing as users that we can do with this. I think if you are able to take the pressure, if TfL is struggling to keep on top of things at the moment, and you can take the pressure off London Transport, that will probably be a good thing to do. However, if you need to, presumably there are mitigations in place to run without this. Hopefully they've kicked in their incident response playbook and contingency planning and so on and so forth. Also, though, do be aware that following these sorts of things over the next few months, it is entirely possible that there will be much more targeted phishing sent out, because although there's no evidence any customer data has been compromised yet, as I say, that is a very common outcome from this sort of cyber attacks. So causing disruption and following on with potential targeted exploits of known users of systems is very much TTPs for pretty much all threat actor groups at the moment. So want to be aware of that. Now, one area we've spoken about quite a lot over the last months, year or so, is around spyware and tracking data. Especially my personal dislike of systems that claim to be legitimate whilst providing spyware and tracking solutions that we all know are used for dodgy or illegitimate purposes. Well, Tracelow is one of those systems. It claims to be able to give you the location of mobile phones based only on knowledge of a phone number. Why is this particularly problematic? In my eyes, it's problematic because primarily the opt-in from the person who is being tracked is basically very weak. It is apparently done by SMS and can be bypassed or misunderstood by users, or regularly is bypassed or misunderstood by users. So perhaps not the best of apps to be using, unless of course you have legitimate reasons for tracking or tracing, and or you have got explicit permission to do so. However, their data has been breached. Now, it doesn't appear to have compromised the location of targets. However, it does appear to have compromised the people using the service, which is quite interesting. So things like full names, phone carriers, phone numbers, cities, time zones, unique identifiers for um, customers of this service, physical addresses, bcrypt password hashes, be warned, email addresses, last login dates, these sorts of things. So if you are a user of this service, be aware that your use of this service is now a whole load less anonymous than it was before. Watch out for phishing and voice phishing, voice scams off the back of this. So and be aware. So no indication at the moment as to what Tracelo are doing about this. So yeah, we will wait to see what happens. But a certain amount of, I think there's a little bit of Schadenfreude around this. However, tempered with, well, I'm sure there are some legitimate users of a service like that. So be aware, it's about 1.5 million users' data has been dumped, including users in the UK. So yeah, that's interesting. Now, finally from me, nice short one today. You know how there's an urban legend that that your smart devices listen into everything that you're saying, which is obviously urban legend, despite the fact that pretty much all of us have been in situations where you've been talking to friends or family or whatever about something that's a bit out of the out of the ordinary, a bit unusual, and then miraculously an advert for it appears on a mobile device. It's like, okay, it's entirely possible that there are very clever algorithms that from other unrelated activities have worked out, for example, that for the first time in your life you're considering a holiday in Mauritius. Or it may be that you muttered something about, do you know what? I've never thought of going to Mauritius, but perhaps it would be quite nice after all. In the vicinity of your smartphone, which has recorded that and then sold the data to, yeah, right. So pretty much all providers of smart services have denied, emphatically denied, that they listen into all your stuff and use it in that way until now. So Cox Media Group has now admitted that they have a pitch deck that reveals plans to listen into users' devices for ads. Cox Media Group, CMG, has quite explicitly said they are going to do these things. So for all of you that were saying, oh no, it could never happen, it would never happen, it's all conspiracy theory. Yeah, what, a little bit like COVID-19 didn't really come from a lab in China. Come on, guys, get over it. This stuff is going on. So, but at least now it's impossible to say nobody's ever done this, don't be so stupid. Well, it's like, well, people are actually got to the point where they're pitching it as a sales idea. Come on, that doesn't mean to say they've just dreamt it up. That means that they know it works. So there you are. If you ever wondered whether your devices are listening in when you, and the smart providers or their third parties are doing things with all of that data. I mean, very obviously they're listening into everything that you say, because otherwise how do they know that you've said, I don't know, hey Siri or Alexa or whatever it might be? So clearly they're listening to everything that you say. It's what
I'm
they...
pretty loyal to Apple. It's just how I'm made.
I don't know whether you picked that up, but Siri on my watch just kicked in at that point. Oh, you see, they're listening. Right, that's enough from me for today.